Hello everyone, and welcome back to the virtual training course on quality control and inspection. Today, we are moving on to Lesson 8, Tools for Quality Control, AQL, Checklists, SOPs, and more. By the end of this session, you'll have a clear picture of why QC tools are important, the key tools used in garment and textile inspection, AQL, or acceptable quality level, inspection checklists, standard operating procedures or SOPs, defect classification sheets, QC logs and reports, visual aids and samples, root cause analysis tools, and finally, tips for using QC tools effectively. So, why are QC tools important? Well, they help us standardize inspections, improve communication between teams, and reduce mistakes or guesswork. They also make it easier to track and analyze quality performance over time. Remember this quote, "Without tools, inspection is just opinion." Let's look at the main QC tools used in garment and textile inspection. These include AQL, Acceptable Quality Level, checklists, SOPs, Standard Operating Procedures, defect classification sheets, QC logs and reports, visual aids, root cause analysis tools like fishbone diagrams and the 5 whys method. AQL, Acceptable Quality Level. What is AQL? AQL tells us how many samples to inspect and how many defects are acceptable in a batch. For example, for a shipment of 500 garments at AQL 2.5, we check a sample of 80 pieces. If we find 5 or fewer defects, it's acceptable. If more than 5 defects are found, the batch is rejected. AQL is mainly used in final inspections, but sometimes also in inline audits. Inspection checklist. Why use it? Because it ensures every inspector checks the same things, reduces missed steps, and creates inspection records. Typical items on a garment checklist include stitch type and length, seam strength, labels and size tags, loose threads, and even folding and packing. Tip: always customize your checklist according to product type. Let's move to Standard Operating Procedures, or SOPs. An SOP is simply a written document that shows the correct steps for doing a task. For example, how to inspect fabric rolls, how to check stitching quality, or how to pack shirts into polybags. SOPs reduce variation, make it easier to train new staff, and improve overall consistency. Defect classification sheet. Its purpose is to help inspectors categorize defects and define them as major, minor, or critical. Here's a sample. Open seam, stitch is broken, that's a major defect. Small thread left, not trimmed properly, minor defect. Wrong label, incorrect size or care label, critical defect. Tip: always align your defect classifications with buyer requirements. QC logs and reports. These are used to record defects, track inspection results over time, and communicate with production teams. Types of QC reports include daily inline reports, final inspection reports, and rework tracking sheets. The main benefit is simple: they make quality performance measurable. Visual aids and samples. These are photos, diagrams, or even physical garment samples that show what's acceptable and what's considered a defect. Why use them? Because they help non-readers or workers with low literacy, reinforce visual memory, and standardize judgment across all inspectors. Root cause analysis tools. When defects keep repeating, that's when we use root cause analysis tools. 2 common methods are the fishbone diagram, also called Ishikawa, which breaks problems into categories. The 5 whys method, where you keep asking, why, until you find the real cause. For example, a skipped stitch. 1. Why? The needle broke. 2. Why? Wrong type of needle. 3. Why? No checklist. 4. Why? No SOP. 5. Why? No training process. And that's the root cause. Here are some tips for using QC tools effectively. Train both inspectors and line supervisors on how to use them. Update checklists and SOPs regularly. Share reports with production teams. Keep all tools in an easily accessible place. Thank you for joining today's session. We hope you are finding this training series helpful. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next lesson. See you there.